State President of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and who has served as 3 consecutive terms in the Rajya Sabha and done exceptionally good job in especially IT sector in the government of India under Prime Minister Shri Modi, Shri Rajiv ji. My colleague, who was my colleague for entirely 5 years in Parliament Affairs, Shri Murli ji, Shri Krishna Das ji, Shri Krishna Kumar ji, Shri Sivakunti ji, Padma Kumar, Abdul Salim, or Shri Jairam, and all other dignitaries on the dais, and the senior Karyakartas and the well-wishers of the Bharatiya Janata Party who are here today in this function to mark the 50th years of the dark days which India has seen for 21 months. See, people who are holding the constitution or putting the constitution in their pocket and सारे देश में घूम रहे हैं, they probably don't remember what has happened. They remember it, but they don't want to show that it was done by their party, and they are trying to mislead the people, saying that there is an undeclared emergency. What is emergency? Because after such a long gap, they want that people should forget this. But in the interest of democracy, in the interest of country, we should never allow to forget this. Why I am telling you this? I will try to narrate within 20-25 minutes. I will not take much of your time because many of you are, some people were there in the emergency as active Karyakarta and some were there as a underground worker. So I do not want to say much on that because at that time I was studying in 8th, 9th standard. So I do not want to say much on this because some of the seniors whom I am seeing here today, probably they might have participated in that moment also. 25th January, June 1975, on that night, the emergency was proclaimed in India by Srimati Gandhi government. So why it was done, that was most important. Srimati Indira Gandhi, who contested from the Raebareli, उनके खिलाफ लड़े थे श्री राजनारायण. So people who are young here, they should understand little history. That's why I am trying to narrate the story, what happened. Rajanarayan contested against him, and even in those days, there were many parties. Now people are uniting, parties are uniting against Bharatiya Janata Party. Those were the days people were uniting against the Congress Party. So all parties put together Rajanarayan को खड़ा किया. तो Rajanarayan, then he lost in 1971. So Indira Gandhi, again there were a serious allegation. She misused the official machinery. Can you able to, I don't think many people will not be able to imagine or believe the allegation which was proved in the later in the court of law. One government officer was appointed as her election agent. Many people do not know this. Means what was the style of administration, what was the style of their politics, if you can just recollect. One officer was their election agent, and one independent, in spite of all these things, Indira Gandhi was not very confident she made one Advaitanand to contest. And to make him to contest, she bribed him with 50,000 rupees in those days. And that also it came because she thought nothing is going to happen. Those were the days of the Congress, and she was the Prime Minister, and she had won Bangla War, and that's why she felt nothing is going to happen. She did that also very openly. Then she used Air Force helicopters. Then she used इलाहाबाद का एक अधिकारी को अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूंसी में लगा दिया चुनाव के काम करने के लिए, वरिष्ठ अधिकारी को. So, and she openly spent what was prescribed in those days. 35,000 rupees was the prescribed limit for that in those days. Now it is 90 lakhs. So at that, in those days it was 35,000. She crossed that limit and matter went to the High Court. Justice Sinha in Allahabad High Court बहुत लंबा सुनवाई की. There was a lengthy hearing of this matter, and ultimately in before June he delivered a historical judgment disqualifying Srimati Indira Gandhi from her seat, and not only that, he banned from contesting from the election. There were two options for her: either accept the verdict and resign, another was to subvert the constitution and remain in the power. The Congress party, which never respect the constitution which they are speaking of today, they never respect. इनका तो मन में ही नहीं है. I will just try to narrate the link. 1950, January 26th, our constitution, mean republic, we ourselves announced, declared as a Republic of India. And 52, there was first election. Many of you may not be knowing, Article 21, Abhivyakti Swatantra, that fundamental right was, means some of the, on media person, there was a FIR was filed, case was filed. They went to the court and ultimately Supreme Court said, you can't do this. Then Nehru did not wait for the 1952 election. Before 52 election means before getting the mandate, it was in a way it was interim government. By then, Dr. Shyam Prasad Mukherjee had resigned, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar has resigned. Nehru brought the first amendment curtailing the fundamental right of Abhivyakti Swatantra, expression, right of expression. That was curtailed. So like that, it is in the DNA of the Congress party. They never respect the democracy, they never respect the constitution, they never respect. They never respected Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in their life. This is all on record. So they changed the first time the constitution in 1951 before they could get the mandate. Like that, Srimati Indira Gandhi, instead of accepting the judgment, she chose to be a dictator. And then in between, matter went to the Supreme Court. I think, as far as I know, because I am in public life from quite some time, I am the 5th time MP now, consecutively. I have fought, I have also fought many cases because there were so many cases during the Congress time for the agitation and other things filed on me also. मैंने बहुत बार देखा, जब भी लोअर कोर्ट में आर्ग्यूमेंट होता है, लोअर कोर्ट में केस फाइल होता है, हाई कोर्ट और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का जजमेंट दिखाते हैं. बहुत लोग केरल में लॉयर्स है इसलिए मुझे इसको बोलने का बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं है. But this Sinha's judgment, after Srimati Indira Gandhi proclaimed the emergency, this judgment entirely now it is not found in the records. Only operational portion which he had read, only you can find that. Remaining portion, it is not there because 21 months there was emergency. It was not made publicly available to the people. Any judgment after 1947 and even some of the Privy Councils, these are all the judgments which are available even today. But this particular judgment, which is said to be 255-page judgment, it is not available. And the matter went to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court was supposed to decide the case. At that time, Srimati Indira Gandhi felt that in Supreme Court also she may face the debacle. मुझे इसमें भी बहुत बुरा हो, इससे भी ज़्यादा बहुत बुरा होने वाला है क्योंकि जस्टिस खन्ना ने एक जजमेंट दिया, मीन इंटीरियम ऑर्डर दिया. इंदिरा गांधी कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन द लोकसभा डिबेट बट इंदिरा गांधी कैनॉट वोट. आयरनी देखो आप. she is heading the government, but if there is a confidence vote or no confidence vote, she cannot vote for herself. That was the order. So then she started thinking of, I have to do something. So Sanjay Gandhi वगैरह वगैरह से बात की. Then she decided that there should be a change in the law. First amendment was 38, amendment number 38 of the Constitution. In that amendment, whatever first amendment was, whatever the president or the governor, they take the decision or they sign the bill, they sign the ordinance, whatever it is, it cannot be questioned. That was ordinance, that was the first amendment. Then there was a second amendment. The people who talk of the Constitution, they should know all these things. The second amendment was Article 39. What was the Article 39? Article 39 was that Prime Minister, Vice President and Lok Sabha Speaker's election petition cannot be filed, cannot be challenged in the court of law. Means she kept herself above the law. So only to show it that it is not only made for me, that's why she included Uparashtrapati and Speaker. And Uparashtrapati का आज तक तब भी और अभी भी उपराष्ट्रपति का चुनाव के बारे में कोई भी कोर्ट में क्वेश्चन अभी तक नहीं किया है. Nobody has questioned it in the court of law. But only she added and also Speaker. Then this amendment, Article 39, was passed on Friday within 3 minutes. Within 3 minutes in the Lok Sabha and within 3 minutes in Raj Sabha. Without any discussion. Nobody said anything. Only session was called. This was put place before, it was put before the Parliament. Parliament said, okay. This is how these people have run the government. Then matter came up. There was an issue that since it was a fundamental right, 50% of the state assemblies have to support this amendment. That's a constitutional binding. Friends, आप लोगों को जो उस टाइम नहीं थे और बाद में हिस्ट्री पढ़ा नहीं है, उन लोगों को ये बहुत शॉकिंग होगा. One single day, 50% of the state assemblies passed the resolution supporting this amendment in one day. In one day. Then it was Sunday. Rashtrapati was to sign. Rashtrapati signed this constitutional amendment on Sunday. So you may wonder why it happened. Because Monday there was a judgment on Indira Gandhi's issues in the Supreme Court. Before that she wanted to implement that, and same day the Gazette notification was done. And ultimately emergency was clamped. After that, I do not want to go into these technical details much. After that, 25th June, emergency was, after this judgment issue was over, then emergency भी ऐसे लगा दिया, रातों रात, the cabinet was called, and in midnight 2 o'clock, and file was sent to the president, and president same day night he signed, and no newspaper was published next day, 25th, 26th, no newspaper, 27th, no newspaper, 28th, there was they said after the scrutiny, previous scrutiny, then only there will be those newspaper can be published. This was emergency. And then 28th, when Ramanath Goenka was there, Ramanath Goenka of Indian Express, he was also told that you should write what we say. Then he said, I will not publish my newspaper, but he said he published the newspaper, but the editorial column was blank. And he dared, he fought against Indira Gandhi. Here you may be knowing some people, CPI and Congress party were together, they were ruling. And CPI, then Chief Minister, I think Achyutanandan, he resigned. Achyut Menon, he resigned. And after his resignation, Karunakaran took over. After the election, he took over. And after that, atrocity, you people, many of people, you know it, what happened. See, after this emergency, 40th amendment was brought. What was the 40th amendment? 42nd amendment was brought. 42nd amendment, it changed the provisions of 32 provisions, it changed. And it was almost 50% of the constitution was changed. The Baba Sahib Ambedkar, which gave this constitution to us, and today people who speaking on all these issues, means showing the constitution in the public, they should remind at least कम से कम पश्चाताप तो व्यक्त करना है, रिमोर्स तो व्यक्त करना है, रिग्रेट व्यक्त करना है, अभी तक कोई ने इसमें नहीं किया है. So then there was a famous case, how the things were dealt in those days. Shukant Shukla versus Union of India, there was a big case. In this, one person was gunned down, and against that, I think that was the police firing. Then he went to the court. तो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने कोर्ट में एफिडेविट डाला. क्या एफिडेविट डाला? The court affidavit was, during the emergency, nobody can file case against the government. Fundamental right was curtailed. And against that, Justice Khanna, he gave a dissent judgment. For that, though he was senior most, he was never allowed to become the Chief Justice of India. Mr. Rai, who was junior most in the Supreme Court, he was brought and he was made as the Chief Minister. This was how judiciary was run. आज हमको पाठ पढ़ा रहे. So people ask, after 50 years, why we want this? For two things we want this. Why you want to remind people? We want that people should be always vigilant. Because this Congress party, even today, they are not democratic. The Congress party, So you can see Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi means Manmohan Singh means Sonia, and after that now Priyanka and Rahul. And these people, in the name of constitution, they are trying to mislead the people, and the constitution which utmost respect to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar and constitution, if some party has given, that is only and only Bharatiya Janata Party, and today's circumstances, that is Narendra Modi led Bharatiya Janata Party government, NDA government. And those people talk of the constitution, and they tell us why you want to remind the people about emergency. Second thing is, by nature India is democratic. अब बहुत पुराने साल से देखो, कर्नाटक में बसवन्ना से लेके नॉर्थ इंडिया में वैशाली में, there was a democratic system even during the time of the emperors which were ruling. From those days to this day, there is a democracy and secularism in the blood of these people. भारत के हर एक व्यक्ति के खून में डेमोक्रेसी है और सेक्युलरिज्म है, एंड हमको पाठ पढ़ाते हैं, और इसीलिए इस डेमोक्रेसी को फिर से कोई भी, और इस संविधान के आधार पर जो आज देश चल रहा है उसके से पहले भी चला था, उसको कोई भी टच करने का धैर्य न करे, उसके कारण से लिए ये कार्यक्रम वो भी 50th ईयर में हम कर रहे हैं. तो कोई भी उस टाइम, मैं आपको बता रहा हूं, इंटरनल मिसा के लिए मेंटेनेंस ऑफ इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, तो कैन यू इमेजिन हाउ मेनी ऑर्डिनेंस वर ब्रॉट इन. द पीपल हु आर टेलिंग, आप बिना चर्चा लोकसभा में पारित करते हैं. जब मैं और मुरली जी पार्लियामेंट अफेयर्स मंत्री थे तब भी ये बोलते थे, राज्यसभा में बहुत ज्यादा बोलते थे. क्या बोलते थे? आप चर्चा नहीं करते. हम घंटों भर चर्चा करते थे. Hours together there used to be discussion, and some were also sent to the committee. In spite of that, they were alleging against me. But in 21 months, 48 ordinances were brought. 48 ordinances. Only in 21 months. That was their track record. And internal maintenance of internal security. And 42 amendment. What are the 42 amendment? इसमें 6 years तक extension दे दिया. The 5 years was the constitutional, original constitution which was given by Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. That was extended to 6 years without any discussion. And 40 and इसमें तो बहुत ज़्यादा almost संविधान पूरा चेंज हो गया. सबवोट मीन्स टोटल सबवोट, एंड सुप्रीम कोर्ट का और हाई कोर्ट का जो भी ज्यूरिस्डिक्शन था वो खत्म कर दिया. नोबडी कैन क्वेश्चन द गवर्नमेंट डिसीजन अगेंस्ट. सी देखो, एक बार जब ये शिवकांत शुक्ला का भी हुआ था, उनके जो कोई उनके व्यक्ति मरे थे, एंड एज फार एज द पनिशमेंट इज ऑल्सो कंसर्न, कोई भी व्यक्ति देश में, इस देश में, भारत में आज भी उनको एक चोरी में भी पकड़ा गए तो भी उनको बेल एप्लीकेशन के लिए मैं गलत नहीं किया ये बोलने के लिए कोर्ट में जा सकते हैं. बट इन दोज डेज इट वाज टोटली curtailed. So these are all the things which was done, and subsequently many people were arrested. See, I can tell you one figure, the total capacity. How then I am coming to know atrocities. The capacity, jail capacities in those days, it was 1,83,369. You may ask me where from you have brought this figure. This is what Shah Commission has said. Subsequently Shah Commission was constituted. In Shah Commission all these things are mentioned. Shah Commission said 1,83,369 was the capacity of jail, and in that only in 21 months 2,20,146 people were arrested. Out of that, 1,26,722 were there was no inquiry against them at all. And out of these 2,20,000, more than 1,10,000 either from जनसंघ, बीजेपी, एबीवीपी और आरएसएस. बाकी सब लोग बाद में चुप हो गए. थोड़ा दिन शुरुआत में अपोज किया, सीपीआईएम वगैरह, बाद में ठंडा हो गया. बिकॉज तो लड़ने के लिए ताकत चाहिए, कमिटमेंट चाहिए. दैट कमिटमेंट वॉज नॉट देयर. एंड this sterilization was done throughout the country. Sterilization means this family planning operation in a very common language. In these 21 months, in between 2-3 months, there was a 20-point program. कन्नड़ में 20 अंश कार्यक्रम बोलते हैं इसको. राजू जी थोड़ा जानते हो कन्नड़. 20 अंश प्रोग्राम. तो इसके बारे में आज इंडी गठबंधन में जो है, हु आर इन दी इंडी गठबंधन टुडे, उनका भाषण मुझे अभी भी याद है, क्योंकि आई वॉज एट दैट टाइम 10th स्टैंडर्ड. आई वेंट टू in 1977 I went to a sabha public meeting. There one of the Indi leader has said 20 अंशा what happened निर्वंशा, ऐसे बोला था. क्योंकि 1 lakh people were sterilized, whether he is married, whether he forcefully. तो कैसे कैसे लाए थे? एक बड़ा बड़ा मैदान में, बड़ा बड़ा ऐसे हॉल में, जो जा रहे थे, रास्ते में जा रहे थे, उनको पकड़ के लाना और नशाबंदी करना, कट करना. कई लोग बाद में आत्महत्या क्योंकि उनका शादी ही नहीं हुआ था. एंड इन दैट देन Shah Commission has reported 1,774 people died in those operation camps. Why? There was no sterilization, there was no operation theatre. रास्ते में उनको ले डाउन कर दिया, कट कर दिया, खत्म हो गया. 1,774 people died. There was no inquiry against anybody. तुर्कमन गेट कांड आप जानते हो. जो लोग आज बोलते हैं, तो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ देम वर देयर मुस्लिम्स. बट एक दिन बुलडोजर लेके गए संजय गांधी, वो लोग बोले हम नहीं हटेंगे, तो अंधाधुंधी गोली मार दिया. बहुत बड़े मात्रा में लोग मर गए. एंड जो भी सरकार के आदेश का, जो सरकारी नौकर, उसका आदेश, द गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉयज हु डिड नॉट फॉलो द ऑर्डर्स ऑफ इलीगल ऑर्डर्स ऑफ देयर सुपीरियर्स, such 25,962 people, central government employees, were just removed. No inquiry. कोई कुछ इंक्वायरी नहीं है. Some were dismissed, some were removed without any inquiry. Then all newspapers, they were banned, or they were asked to do what government has said. Executive, legislative, judiciary, totally they were brought under the control. And then that was not allowed to print the truth. Loknayak Jayaprakash, on the 25th itself, Loknayak Jayaprakash Narayan, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Lal Krishna Advani, Rajnath Singh ji, उस टाइम सोशलिस्ट थे, मधु दंडवते, many such stalwarts were arrested on the same night. L.K. Advani ji, he had come to Bangalore for some committee meeting. He was put in the jail in the Bangalore itself. So many times he has said, Indira Gandhi kept me here for 21 months. I had almost learned Kannada. और थोड़े दिन रखते तो मैं पूरा कन्नड़ सीख जाता था. ऐसे अभी भी बोलते थे. तो जब तक वो सार्वजनिक सभा में बोलते थे, ये तो कर्नाटक में जब भी आते थे he used to refer that. Then so many tortures. Misa, Rajnath Singh ji, today who is the defense minister, when he was arrested, his mother died. He was not allowed to go to the funeral. These are the things. केरल का तो पे आप जानते हैं. तो then CPI Chief Minister Achyutan Menon, Congress Home Minister K. Karunakaran, people of Kerala. तो पहले शुरुआत में CPIM थोड़ा लड़े, बाद में जब डंडा मारने शुरू किया कोई विचार नहीं, कुछ नहीं, क्योंकि CPI तो उनके ही साथ था, ये लेफ्ट तो उनका ही लेफ्ट राइट हो गया था. तो they never dare to fight, and ultimately, so you know the Rajan case, and even here itself, how torture was given to this Rajan, how he died, and ultimately no inquiry was conducted, and after emergency was lifted, some of the people were charged on that murder case. There was absolute. In Karnataka, this George Fernandez also arrested with full of handcuffs, everything, iron chain. He was arrested and he was kept in the false dynamite case. He was kept for more than 21 months in the jail. He filed the nomination from the jail and he won with more than 5 lakh vote at that time. Jail se unhone nomination bhar diya. And before he could be arrested, he was underground. The Lawrence Fernandez, who was his brother in Karnataka, he was taken to the police station. He was so much beaten, and ultimately, with a cutting plier, his nails were removed. All his nails were removed. These people are talking about the law of the land. These people are keeping their empty page, खाली पेज का संविधान जेब में पढ़ के बाकी को सुनाने जा रहे हैं. इसीलिए हमको लोगों को याद दिलाना है, कांग्रेस पार्टी अंबेडकर जी से लेके संविधान को इन लोगों ने क्या क्या किया, ये बताने के लिए, और आगे भी ऐसे कोई भी साहस न करे, इसके लिए कार्यक्रम हमको करना है. ओके, व्हाई इट वाज डन ऑल दिस थिंग्स? ओनली एंड ओनली बिकॉज Indira Gandhi's chair was in dangerous, country was not in dangerous. Only because of Indira Gandhi's. जो लालच था ना, सत्ता में हमको ही रहना है, गांधी और नेहरू परिवार को ही रहना है, और कोई रहने के लिए कोई अधिकार नहीं है. जन्मभूमि केसरी वर शट डाउन, सीनियर जर्नलिस्ट PVK नेडुगड़ी, तो उनका क्या क्या हुआ? I think he was so much humiliated and बहुत उनको तंग कर दिया और प्रताड़ित किया. बट केरल के लिए बहुत, दुनिया के भारत बाकी राज्यों के कंपैरिजन में केरल में बहुत अत्याचार अन्याय हुआ. लेकिन हमारे जो कमिटेड कार्यकर्ता थे, उस टाइम के भारतीय संघ और ABVP के लोग पूरे सख्त से लड़कर इस इमरजेंसी का विरोध करके इस देश में पुनर्संविधान के अनुसार अगर आज देश में राज और केंद्र सरकार चल रहे, तो वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ हमारा विचारधारा के जो लड़ाई था, उस लड़ाई के कारण हुआ है. वी शुड नेवर फॉरगेट दिस. इसको लोगों को भी बताना है जो संविधान लेके घूमते हैं, इनका क्या है. तो फॉर इट एंड MA जॉन, P राजन, ये सब लोगों को अरेस्ट किया था. क्या क्या हुआ था उस टाइम? द डेमोक्रेसी, तो अल्टीमेटली द डेमोक्रेसी और डिक्टेटरशिप एंड और द कंट्रोल, भारत और वन फैमिली, ये लड़ाई था. तो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन और कंट्रोल, डेमोक्रेसी और द डिक्टेटरशिप एंड कंट्रोल ऑफ द वन फैमिली के खिलाफ ये लड़ाई था. एंड in Kerala itself, in Kasaragod district, which is the border of Karnataka, one village, what is the name? I'm not able to spell it properly. Highest number of satyagrahis were sent from that place. Highest number. Pai Vilavi. Paivali way. That village, it sent the highest number of satyagrahis. In that house, all the houses were raided by police because they have sent satyagrahis. And this is how people were tortured. And ultimately, the people who were for the ideology of हमारा विचारधारा का जो आइडियोलॉजी है, विचारधारा के हम परिवार के लोग, they protected the organization, the mission and the nation, and a clear message, we will never go to the dictatorship. That was the message. तो मित्रों, मैं इतना ही कहने के लिए आया हूँ. तो उस टाइम जो भी हुआ है उसका पूरा शाह कमीशन का एक बार अगर आप देखते हैं तो आपको पता चलेगा व्हाट वाज द एट्रॉसिटी. पुलिस को कोई पूछने वाला नहीं थी जी. जो अंदर जाएगा वो बाहर आएगा ये नहीं, फिर भी पता नहीं था. दे वर बीटन सो मच. वन थिंग हैपेंड इवन इन दोज डेज इन बेंगलुरु. आई रिमेंबर, आई हैव रेड इट. A Commonwealth delegation was brought for many, in the many parts of the country it was, they were sent to show that everybody has accepted Indira Gandhi as leader and an emergency is accepted. But one Mr. Suresh Kumar and some other people who is even now MLA, they somehow, they went inside the bus from which they were traveling and it was explained to them how emergency, how brutality is being done, and some of the literature was given. The police which were present in front of those delegation, they were beaten so much, beaten to blue, and ultimately they were brought to the police station and they were tortured so much. The aeroplane punishment in those days, which was famous, that was given to all these people. Some people have become permanently disabled because of that, permanently, but no punishment, no inquiry. And it was not a emergency was not a constitution necessary, it was a personal political conspiracy. तो बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया है. तो इसीलिए तो हमको, because this is not राजशाही भारत, this we wanted to prove that, लोकशाही भारत, New India, strong India, and we are proud of our democracy, इसको बताने के लिए. तो डेमोक्रेसी के लिए ये सिर्फ 1947 के बाद, ऑफ कोर्स दैट वाज ए बहुत लंबा लड़ाई था, लेकिन कितना अट्रॉसिटीज इंदिरा गांधी के कालखंड में इमरजेंसी में हुआ, वो हमारा कई बार स्वतंत्र सेनानी का जो स्वतंत्र संग्राम में जो था उससे कई ज़्यादा हुआ है. तो only to retain her power, only to retain her power. I said no, I want to repeat it. Almost 50% of the constitution was changed within these 21 months. And all the state government, including Namboodirippa's government, it was dismissed by using the Article 356. The people, Mr. Stalin was in jail. Karnanidhi, not Stalin, Karnanidhi was in jail. Here many communist people were jailed. But in spite of all these things, they are sitting with the Congress party as an Indigatband in Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. This is the irony. The people, whether it is a Communist party or whether it is a Congress party, they are never for ideology, they are never for democracy, they never showed an iota of respect to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. And recently some of the Congress party President Kharge has given statement. With that statement and what is the fact, after narrating that I will close it. He has said, for the defeat of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, V.D. Savarkar is responsible. I asked Kharge, Mr. Kharge, in the Karnataka also, and even in Delhi also have given a statement. Mr. Kharge, please explain me who won against Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar in Lok Sabha election. It was the Congress party candidate, and Pandit Nehru went to campaign against Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar twice in one single constituency. And the person who won, Karjorkar, इनका कुछ भी कंट्रीब्यूशन नहीं था, उनको पद्म विभूषण दिया गया। एंड नाउ दे आर टेलिंग फॉर द डिफीट ऑफ डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब अम्बेडकर सावरकर इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल। तो कुछ भी बोलते हैं, मिसगाइड करते हैं। अल्टीमेटली फॉर द सेक ऑफ पावर they are ready to compromise on anything. They compromised with China, they compromised with Article 370, they compromised with Pakistan. They can compromise for the power, anything, and especially this family politics, the family driven politics. देश के लिए सरकार नहीं है, फैमिली के लिए देश है। ऐसे स्थिति जो लाया है, इसको आगे भी कोई सोच न सके, इसके बारे में nobody should imagine, nobody should think to create that awareness. This 50th year program we are doing it. Dark days of emergency, why you are reminding? Only for the purpose that next generation should know it, and nobody should dare to touch the constitution again. The people who have tried to subvert the constitution, we should be always aware what is the ideology, what is the thinking, what is the style of administration, and what is सर्वाधिकार। लोगों को जानना चाहिए। तो कांग्रेस का एक इमरजेंसी देखना चाहिए। ये सब आप याद दिलाने के लिए कार्यक्रम किया है। मेरा इतना ही आग्रह है, जो भी लोग इधर बैठे हैं, कहीं न कहीं छोटे ग्रुप में 50, 10, 20 ग्रुपों में जाके जो भी कांग्रेस एट्रोसिटी किया है, जो भी कांग्रेस ने इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को सपोर्ट करने के लिए क्या क्या किया था, उसको एक्सप्लेन करने का काम कीजिए। क्योंकि ये लोग जो संविधान लेके घूम रहे हैं ना, इनको पता चलेगा उनके पिताजी, पूर्वपिता, ये इनका जो फादर, ग्रैंडफादर, ये सब लोग क्या किए थे। दैट विल बी द ग्रेटेस्ट सर्विस टू द कंट्री। थैंक यू, धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
രാവുമായണം രാമനെ അറിയണം. സ്കൂൾ കുട്ടികൾക്കായുള്ള രാമായണം പ്രശ്നോത്തരി ജൂലൈ 20 ഞായറാഴ്ച രാവിലെ 9 മണിക്ക്. സ്ഥലം കൃഷ്ണപിള്ള മെമ്മോറിയൽ ഓഡിറ്റോറിയം, നന്ദാവനം, തിരുവനന്തപുരം. രാമായണ മാസാചരണത്തോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് തത്വമയി TV സ്കൂൾ കുട്ടികൾക്കായി ഒരു രാമായണം പ്രശ്നോത്തരി സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്നു. ഈ വരുന്ന ജൂലൈ മാസം 20 ഞായറാഴ്ച തിരുവനന്തപുരം നന്ദാവനം കൃഷ്ണപിള്ള മെമ്മോറിയൽ ഓഡിറ്റോറിയത്തിൽ വെച്ചാണ് ഈ പ്രശ്നോത്തരി പരിപാടി സംഘടിപ്പിക്കുന്നത്. 10 വയസ്സിനും 15 വയസ്സിനും ഇടയിലുള്ള കുട്ടികൾക്കാണ് പ്രശ്നോത്തരിയിൽ പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ കഴിയുക. പങ്കെടുക്കാൻ താല്പര്യമുള്ളവർ പേര്, പഠിക്കുന്ന സ്കൂളിന്റെ ID കാർഡ്, ജനനത്തീയതി തെളിയിക്കുന്ന തിരിച്ചറിയൽ രേഖ എന്നിവ സഹിതം 9034347838 എന്ന നമ്പറിലേക്ക് വാട്സപ്പ് ചെയ്യുക. ഒരു കുട്ടിക്ക് 100 രൂപയാണ് രജിസ്ട്രേഷൻ ഫീസ്. പ്രവേശനം ആദ്യം രജിസ്റ്റർ ചെയ്യുന്ന 54 കുട്ടികൾക്ക് മാത്രം. വിജയികൾക്ക് ആകർഷകമായ സമ്മാനങ്ങൾ.